What's going on, guys? This is Empty Box, and this is Battlefield 3 Team Deathmatch, but the gameplay is universal to any map or mode. And that'd be the M16A4, which might just be the best gun in Battlefield 3 as it is right now. Seems like a pretty crazy statement, but follow me where I'm going on this because, well, we're thinking outside the box. And no, that wasn't supposed to be a pun or anything, given that the name of my channel is Empty Box. Just saying. Wasn't planned like that. The M16A4 obviously did get a little bit of change in the patch, and what that change was reduced horizontal recoil. Okay, yeah, that's fine and dandy. It's still an M16. It's not difficult to control, never was. People just didn't use the M16A4 because of the fact that the M16A3 was the same exact gun, more or less, only fully automatic, and you can fire 3-round bursts from a fully automatic gun a lot more effectively than you can fire fully automatic from a 3-round burst gun. It's just kind of the rule of logic. You don't really need a gun that fires burst fire when you can do the same exact thing from the same exact gun, only slightly different, but the same thing, but not the same thing, if you follow me with that logic. However, the other thing that I didn't notice in the patch notes, and very well could be in there, but it might have even been in there from the very beginning of this game, and I just now noticed it. This gun has, tied with the G3, the least amount of spread on the assault rifles, which means it's a laser beam. It's great. You know, you point your sights, you hit where your sights are aimed. There's half the spread of the other assault rifles, such as the M16A3, and even the Cage 2002, which is probably its most direct competitor in many regards. Now, why is that a good thing, and why is that so crucial? Because of the fact that you have a gun that is more accurate to begin with, you can look at some of those attachments that might not be considered as good because they make your gun more inaccurate, such as the foregrip or the flash suppressor. Now, when we think about the M16s, vertical recoil is the name of the game. They pretty much both pull up and to the right slightly. You know, they're not difficult to control, and that's not what I'm saying here, but you know, if you put a flash suppressor or a foregrip on there, they basically have no recoil. They are very easy to use. You use just a regular suppressor, you get even more accuracy from the gun and a little bit reduced vertical recoil. You know, you do get the damage drop off, as I discussed in my suppressor video previously. But you know, honestly, with this accuracy that this puts out, you're going to keep your bullets in a nice tight grouping even at range, which is going to negate the penalty of the suppressor because you're going to hit more rounds on target more efficiently. Your accuracy is going to go up. You're going to waste less bullets. You're going to kill more per reload, and that's always a good thing. More efficiency is always good. So really, because of the fact that it's more accurate, you can actually penalize the gun in terms of accuracy more efficiently and lose less, because honestly, the standard assault rifles are not inaccurate at all. You know, it's not like, you know, you're spraying bullets all over the place like with one of the LMGs. But it's obviously a good thing. More accuracy is always good, no matter how small. Heck, if I could make this gun as accurate as a bolt action, of course I would. I mean, who doesn't like laser beams? But anyways, you know, really, if you want to go ahead and work on the gun in terms of, you know, attachments and things, I'd suggest, you know, the flash suppressor can be a very good option because it does tame that vertical recoil significantly. Although again, I don't think it's necessarily the best option, but you know, the suppressors are very good, obviously, with the bonuses of the suppressor, which you'll see a couple times in this section on Operation Metro. You know, the heavy barrel is a go-to standard on pretty much every map. I don't think it's necessarily the best for this gun. I'd say the flash suppressor would probably be the better of the options in terms of the loud category. That said, for the longer maps, like armored kill maps, I was actually having success using this gun with a 6x scope in the heavy barrel. Seems like a very weird setup, and it really is, but it can be pretty damned effective on those types of maps. This gun can reach out and touch someone, you know, almost as well as the G3. I'm not saying it's as good as the G3 is at range, but in terms of what you gain in close, in terms of, you know, having a gun that's much more usable than the G3, you know, from the hip as well as just in close quarters in general, that's pretty darn good. You know, you gain in a lot of performance at the medium to long range that the 416 just doesn't quite have because of the spread and the way that things work. But in close, a lot of players are going to go, oh, it's a burst fire gun. Burst fire guns suck in close because they're burst fire, and you gotta like tap the trigger a bunch of times. The reality of the game is that not only are high rate of fire assault rifles the best because of the way spread works within Battlefield 3 and the numbers that DICE has given, you know, all the different guns basically being the exact same. So the less you fire, the more downtime you have, the tighter your grouping, which is obviously a good thing. You can fire 30 rounds from an M16A4 in pretty much the exact same time as the M416 can fire. It's 30 rounds. You know, you really don't lose a lot of time in the burst, as well as the fact that during that burst you gain a lot of accuracy. A lot. You know, if you want to prove this to yourself, go ahead and shoot at the wall and notice what the results are. I'll tell you this, the M16A3 will win that fight, as well as put out the same exact damage in the same exact time. What's not to like?